Hey, this is Jennifer Henry, your host for the Game Changer Real Estate Podcast. We are in the third quarter of 2023, continuing here with our series all about what I wished I had known, tales from new agents. I'm having so much fun getting to talk to my agents because they're saying things I didn't know before. So it's really great to put them in this world where I have to get to ask them questions on the hot seat. And today I have a wonderful guest with us who is near and dear to my heart. They all are. I don't know why I say that, but y'all are all so special to me. And this specific person is here today to share with you all what it's like to be a new agent, but she's also going to talk to you about some of her successes lately. And I told her this is her time to brag because she has been very patiently waiting for this time in her life. Anyway, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to you all the most amazing and wonderful Lesley Brawn. Hello, Lesley.
Hello, Jen. I'm so honored to be here.
It is our honor to have you on here today. I want to just set this up really quickly. Lesley came to us as a referral, as a brand new agent, newly freshly licensed, brand new referral from a game changer named Cara Ferreira, who was in my original program 10 years ago, who is now a mega producer, amazing human being. She sends pretty much anybody new here to us so that they can get what she got and learn and become a mega like her. And she saw something special in Lesley and referred Lesley to us. Lesley joined us, and I'm going to kick it over to Lesley now to tell us about kind of where you came from, when you joined, and then kind of what it's been like. So just take it from here for just a minute and give a brief introduction.
Well, I am, again, very happy to be here because I don't spend a lot of time talking about myself, but anything that I can do to share, because I have just gotten so much knowledge and support from people in the industry. And, having to thank Cara Ferreira for really seeing something in me that I've known since I was 12 years old about my love for real estate and also architecture on the side. But I remember having the conversation with her a few years ago and just telling me, you really need to jump in. My plan was to serve as an agent back up north where I'm from, and I didn't, for various reasons, didn't get into it, ended up relocating to this area and kicked the can down the road just with adjusting to a new area, raising a family, all of those other things. And Cara finally said, "You're signed up for the course, so now you're going to go take it." And I did. And she offered a lot of support, and I worked really hard, mind you, while at a full-time job. And then when I had successfully passed my exam, which was on 4th of July weekend last year,
wow.
Which was crazy. So it's been a year since. She had asked me, well, what are you going to do next? And I said, well, I plan on maybe doing some behind the scenes work and really learning and growing more as a professional versus being a sofa real estate agent. And she said, nope, you didn't spend all this time and energy and all that you have to just sit behind the desk, and just work on the transactional side. You really need to be front and center. And that's when she had introduced me to you, and I had interviewed at a couple of other brokerages that wanted to bring me on. But I will say that for me, learning is so important. Mentorship, support, really learning how to do things the right way. A lot of, you see on TV and reality shows are realtors who jump into the business and, start having all of the things, the fancy things, the glitz and the glamour. And while those things are nice for those of us who enjoy the bougie side of life, you really need to have the foundations of your business and who you are as an individual. That is really going to create the foundation on which you build your business, and really understanding that your unique value is what you bring to the table and your authenticity. That's what people are going to see. That's what you have to strive for. And it's not that these other brokerages wouldn't help me realize that or cultivate that. But there was something at Game Changers that spoke to what I was looking for intrinsically as not only a newly licensed agent, but as a human being.
Oh, I love that. It's beautiful. We do believe in the whole person here at Game Changer Realty. The whole person is what sells, not the realtor. The whole person has to be well. The whole person has to be involved. It isn't just your license that's involved. It's your heart, it's your mind, it's your spirit, it's your confidence. It's all those things. And, you mentioned something I want to make sure that all of our listeners and our viewers and our attendant or our audience hear. Y'all, she had a full-time job. Okay. And she is still in that full-time job currently. And so when we hire people at Game Changer Realty, that's a big question we have is, will you be able to do this? And I'm going to say with full authority, many cannot, because of the commitment level that getting a real estate career off the ground requires. You look at it as a mountain, you have a boulder, you got to push this boulder up this mountain, and then it goes to the top of the hill and goes back down, and you got to push it back up the next big hill. I mean, this is the process. I don't think people really you said it best. It's glamorized getting into real estate, what it is. And it's truly pushing a boulder up a hill for the first 6 months. So Lesley, let's talk about you getting licensed, joining Game Changers now. You have a full-time job. Talk to me about the next 6 or so months from there, kind of what that felt like and how you were navigating that.
So it was overwhelming. And not to say that it isn't. Anyone who is in real estate full-time or is a dual career agent, I mean, there are moments of stress and feeling overwhelmed, but I would say that, I really had to understand my why. Why am I doing this? Is this just a hobby? Is this a phase? Is this just something where I'm looking to make, some quick side money? And I knew that those answers for me were no. There is a level of connection that I enjoy with people. And the reason why I started out with, still working full time and doing this is because it's a very personal decision for anyone who decides to go into real estate. You are an independent contractor. And for many of us, working in either a steady position for years or working in the corporate world, there is stability that is attached to it. And to just walk away from it is difficult. There's no right or wrong answer. But it really meant for me that I had to start prioritizing things and really doing the juggle, which sometimes isn't cute, right? Sometimes you feel like you are wearing way too many hats, which isn't a good look. But for me, it was, how am I going to carve out the time, whether some people are in their original career, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and they work nights and weekends, or however it works for some people. But I really had to find the balance that worked for me. And I knew that it was possible because this has been a dream of mine. Like I said, I have been a secret agent, even prior to being licensed. For a long time, I would have friends call me and ask me about properties and areas and comps and refer to other agents. I've built multiple homes, and I've negotiated my own contracts. I had a real estate attorney ask me if I was an attorney, and I said, no, why? And they said, well, you negotiated that really well. And I just knew that there was something in me, and finding that balance for something that you truly want in your life, you will figure out a way until you get to that, I don't want to say break even point, because I don't think that there's such a thing. You will figure out what that balance is, where you make that shift from one career or job, as I like to call it, to your career or your dream. And I've had to really have some moments of quiet and focus, and obviously having the support of an amazing broker, and a team, and also fellow professionals in the industry to lean on has been fantastic. Find your people, surround yourself with a great tribe. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. My mom was a single parent and at some times worked 2 jobs while finishing up and furthering her education and putting my siblings and I through private school or making sure that we had the best education possible to get us where we need to go. And for me, that is my source of inspiration, that no matter how tired I might feel, no matter how far away the goal seems, which for me, it's not far because I know that it's just, I'm an opportunity away from really realizing my dream because I already know my potential. But it's really just making sure that you surround yourself with good people. It's not a solo journey. You can't do it by yourself. A lot of people try, and that can really derail you. I always, every day, I am texting or calling a fellow agent, whether in our team or outside of our brokerage, to really just chit chat and not necessarily about what's happening in the industry, but just to have that human connection with someone else who gets it and understands. And so with that being said, if you truly want it and you desire it, you will have it.
And I've watched you adapt your life, your schedule multiple times, doing it this way, trying it this way, figuring it out. And there have been moments, I know, if I can say this in authenticity on your behalf, there have been real struggle moments for you to figure out how to do it because you are a mom and you're a devoted mom and you are the consummate professional at your day job and a consummate professional. I like to use that word for you because it's true at your real estate career. And I know that you give your all in all those areas. So when you're that kind of person, it takes a lot to navigate doing all of those well. And I've watched you work that out. And there have been some times when I had my moments where I was like, is Lesley going to pull through this? And she did. She did. And she came into our door every single time, every meeting, every weekly accountability meeting. She has shown up to every single thing she could possibly get herself to without the demands of her other job, with a huge smile on her face. And sometimes I was like, she's putting that smile on when she walks in that door on purpose. And that's sometimes what you have to do. But she walked in here and showed up and showed her business. I'm going to show up for this, even if I've got this other thing going on, or even if I'm being pulled in 17 million directions. I've watched you do it. And now I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, Lesley, but watching you now a year later, it feels to me like you've broken through a ceiling, like there's something magical that's happened in the last few months. Do you want to tell us about that?
So I truly believe that my method for how I do a lot of things in life is a grassroots effort. I love to connect with people with who I am as a person. And I too had my doubts. Jen, I know I've come in and I come in with a smile. It's because I am happy, truly happy to be there. And also don't want to bring the mood down if I'm not like I'm not happy. But I will say that I watched other people around me with their successes and wondered, well, how did they do that? Like, could that be me? And one of the things that you have drilled into us is that you can't take everybody, what you see, everyone, the success that other people are at face value. You do not know the road that was traveled. And so that has really been a true testament to my year, because I have slowly started to, I've cultivated a lot of these relationships through having conversations with people. And this is what we've always talked about from the beginning, 5 and 5, talk to 5 people a day, 5 days a week, having people just have your name at the tip of their tongue and at the top of their brain. But I have had some very surprising moments and being, I don't want to say at the right place at the right time. I think that when you're first starting out, there's so much you have to learn, and the opportunities will come to you when the timing is right. You cannot force it. And a lot of the opportunities that I have been afforded. Some have been maybe by chance. One was at a networking event. I just went just to meet new people because I'm a talker, I have a gift of gab. And I went and someone said, oh my gosh, I need to talk to you. This was someone that I'd never met before. And within 4 weeks, we were under contract. And that was, at that point, I had been a licensed agent for about 8 months. And a lot of people think I've got my license, I'm hanging my shingle, 2 months, I'm gonna have a deal. And no, it doesn't always happen that way. Great if it does, but it doesn't. There's so much to learn. And then I have neighbors of mine who, from a few years ago, and they had been going back and forth. And they finally said, I think we might be ready, we might not be ready. And I had the confidence to be proactive enough to send them an opportunity, a listing, and said, I think this is what you're looking for. I've already looked at it. It's really up to you. And within 4 days, they were under contract, and that was last week. And just being not necessarily daring, but having that confidence. I may not have had the confidence to do that 4, 5, 6 months ago, but I did now. And talking to people, I have a neighbor who has given me 4 referrals, 3 of which are active right now. And again, it is really having that confidence with putting yourself out there. And then that one of their referrals is flying up to meet me in a couple of weeks. And I could not have imagined any of these things happening back when I was just newly licensed. And I don't know how I would have handled it. I think that with being a dual career agent and really learning the ropes and not feeling of the pressure of you need to produce. And not that you shouldn't produce, you should, because that's how we all survive and support ourselves in this business. But these opportunities that are coming up have been amazing. But even just the other day, there was an opportunity that I feel may have slipped through my fingers because I may not have been bold enough. And I kind of kicked myself in the butt a little bit saying, what could I have done differently? And I said to myself, for whatever reason, you didn't learn for the next time. And that was last night. But then this morning, I checked my DMs on social media, which I rarely do because it's super wonky and I have a love-hate relationship with social media. And someone had sent a message to me 2 weeks ago saying that they saw me on multiple either threads or on the internet. And they reached out to me and I said, well, you know what? I didn't check my DMs fast enough. This is another opportunity for me to learn and grow. Oh, well, I took a chance and wrote them back anyway. This was this morning. And I spent 30 minutes on the phone doing a buyer consultation. And I've already set up listings with them and they've already complimented me for my professionalism, for what I had to offer and who I was as a person. And that basically said to me that for whatever reason, if I missed an opportunity, there is something else that is waiting for me and could be the catalyst to something amazing. So I am so blessed, relieved, anxious, all of those things, because this is, for me, is a dream realized. And all of these opportunities, now having 2 buyers under contract and hoping to have 2 more in the next 3 or 4 weeks, is something that I didn't think was going to happen even up until 5 months ago. I was worried, and not that I would quit, but I didn't want to let the people down who have put so much faith and trust in me. I'm here to be a game changer. I'm here to be a productive and producing and contributing member of Game Changer Realty. I want to really elevate just elevate myself professionally and personally. And all of the things that you have poured into me, Jen, I want to put out tenfold. And having these things happen while in my head, I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to organize all these things and keep track of everything? But I know that with the spirit and the grace that has been afforded to me and the confidence that people have freely offered to me, and it will happen. So all of these things just make me just so excited. And just to touch upon the opportunity that I feel like I, missed out on, I have a very friendly relationship with those people, and know that even though the opportunity didn't come to me, that I can still have personal relationship with them, and who knows what that could lead to. So a door that looks like it may have closed isn't closed, right? It's still open. It just may lead to a different room, a different path, a different road. And that is the mindset that I am really trying to work on, because it does no good for anyone to feel as though if something didn't go your way, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen at all.
Never burn a bridge. It sounds to me like you have approached your business with open hands and an open heart. And that's actually one of the values that we have here at Game Changer Realty is open hands, open heart, open mind. And it's about opening yourself up to receive, as opposed to clenching and holding on and resisting. And I know we don't ever set out in our careers to resist or to hold on, but we do that. We do say, oh, I can't let go of this because it's the only thing that's ever going to come my way ever again, versus saying, you know what, I'm going to let this go and learn from it and recognize that what is to be will be, and what isn't won't, and that's okay too. And that I have felt that in you, Lesley. I have felt you step into this newfound kind of confidence and peace about what will be. And I am literally watching the opportunities rain upon you. Like every time I get a text from you, it's something new and exciting. And it's just so magnificent to behold, because of what I've seen you walk through, the decisions I've seen you make, the juggling acts you've had to do, and just all these different things that you've had to do, and the deep conversations you and I have had about you and the potential you have, and what other people expect out of you, and all of those things, and to watch it come to fruition, and for you to just step into it like the boss you are. It's amazing. I'm so proud of you. And I'm honored to be part of the journey with you, even though I will say you did all the work, and you're the one that's continued to put your foot forward in the midst of having another job and everything else. And I am just really proud of you, and I love watching your success. And by the way, you guys, she is not dabbling in little bitty sales, y'all. She's got some big ticket items coming down. I'm watching her become, before my very eyes, a new construction expert. And she's blossoming. And I'm delighted to have you here at this point in time to talk about this, because, you and I were scheduled for a podcast a few weeks ago. We wouldn't even have these new things to talk about. So see, timing is everything, Lesley.
It is. And I love new construction is fun for me. In high school, I think, and actually even before that, I would study home plans. I would pick up home plan magazines at CVS, back when people bought magazines at CVS, and I would study floor plans and house flow and how people utilize space. And in high school, I took architectural design and drafting courses, and I actually have the complete set of blueprints that I created in high school. They're buildable. Now, basically, it was buildable based on when I drew them, but they are buildable if I wanted to. And it's funny because I was living up north at the time, and I had designed a home that was very typical of a Florida style home, which was very interesting. And again, this was back in high school. Never thought I would leave the northern region of the country. And having had the opportunity to build 2 homes from the ground, I think that the construction managers, I don't think I was their favorite person, because I would show up with my hard hat and my yellow jacket, and I would take pictures and I would document everything. And it's just because it's not just what is pretty on the outside, it is the bones of the home. It is how my prospective buyers are going to live in a home. Resales are amazing, love those too, but there is something really intricate about how use the sticks and the plumbing and the duct work and everything that goes into a home. And I had an opportunity to have a buyer call with a site agent for a custom build in an intracoastal neighborhood last week. And oh my gosh, it blew my mind. I think that I was more interested and engaged than my buyer, but really talking about the process, like reading soil reports. I mean, that might be a snooze fest for everyone else. But for me, I dug in and I said to myself, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. And it's a journey that I like to partner with so the two buyers, the two contracts that I have now are new construction. One was already drywalled when we went under contract, and one was just framed. And so with no plumbing, no anything, and really going in and seeing how it all goes together, because these buyers have not gone through that process before. And it has been great for me to partner with them as they watch the evolution of their home and their dream come to life. So it is, it tickles me pink. I'm a little bit of a nerd like that, but
I love it. I love watching you geek out on this stuff because I honestly, like, buyers don't want to do that. And so what a value you bring to the table, because, you know, if you've got that person looking at those soil tests for you, you don't have to, and they're interpreting it for you. I mean, that's huge value. And Lesley, that you already talked about this earlier, that's what we want to do, is create agents that understand their unique value and are owning it fully for the consumer, because the consumer needs agents that know their value. If anything our industry needs right now, it's that. It's people understanding that they bring value to the table and they are willing to take a stand for it and be that value authentically for their customer. And you're doing that. And it's amazing. And I don't know where the future is going to take you, but I do know it's bright. And I am, again, excited to just be here with you, watch you do it. Love listening to you share your insights just 1 year later with other people who are listening right now saying, I wonder when it's going to be my turn. What would you say to them, Lesley, when they ask themselves, when is it going to be my turn?
I would say that your turn really is your breakthrough moment. And it is a combination of the opportunity that it presents, that presents to you, timing, and your willingness to have your eyes and ears open for it. And it's not to say that when you have that breakthrough moment, which may not be, you know, fireworks in the sky, it may be something that simple that is the catalyst. I think that there is this, you know, oh my gosh, like, you know, my moment is this $1 million listing that fell in my lap. No, I think the confidence happens. And this is what one of my girlfriends, who is also a realtor, she also was a dual career. She's an esthetician, or was an esthetician by trade, and she was giving me my facial, and I'm sitting there getting my face rubbed. And she said to me, I asked her, when is it going to be my opportunity? And her response to me was, Lesley, you are doing all the right things. You're talking to people, you're learning, you're leaning on your team and your brokerage. When you have that first closing, or that first person selects you to represent them, the breakthrough moment will be the confidence of, oh my gosh, I've got to my first deal, transaction, or however you want to phrase it. And for me, that was so true. Or people being receptive to talking to you and saying, you know, I want to learn more. That breakthrough is going to look so different for everybody, but just know that if you are a bump on a log, you will just be the bump on the log. But if you talk to people and you put your heart and soul in, and you're open to learning, then your breakthrough is going to come when you're ready. But I just have to dispel that it's not that it's going to be in 5 months, it's going to be in 6 months, it's going to be in 7 months. Because for me, I'd have to go back. I think it was April. I joined Game Changer in August of last year. I had my first contract in April of this year. And I would say, be patient and know that the time will come when it's right. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it is so true. And even, I'm sure there are people who are very successful and mega producers, and they still have moments of doubt, you know, well, what do I need to do different? How am I going to win more business? It happens at every level. But I would just say, as a new agent, stay with it. Don't allow yourself to be that, what's a percentage, Jen? The 87%, 87% that decide to just throw their hands up in the air. And I know you and I talked a couple of weeks ago about it's even higher for anyone who is a dual career agent. Lean in on your support network and just get through it, and just have the faith that you are in the right place. And if you come to the authentic determination that maybe it isn't for you, that's okay too. But if this is something that you really want, don't put a timer or a countdown on when your moment will happen or what it's supposed to look like. Don't look at $1 million listings on Bravo. Don't be on Instagram all the time and looking at what other people are doing. Look at what you're doing and do it to the best of your ability, and it will come to you.
Such great advice. I often tell my agents, go on an information input diet. Right now, you can't be listening to everything, watching absolutely everything. Social media it can do a number on your ego and your confidence. If it's not good for you, if watching $1 million listings is not good for you, don't watch those things. Focus and give your attention to the things that make you feel good about what you're doing and give you confidence. And for anyone out there, I hope you heard Lesley's answer to that. It took her from August to April with another job. And there were moments where that definitely probably slowed you down just because of your commitments. And I will say this, I believe that the breakthrough came in your mind long before it showed up in deals. And I can say definitively for me, the breakthrough was in my mind before it showed up in my hand and as an opportunity. So evaluate how you're thinking. To our audience, evaluate how you're thinking, because you have to get your thinking in alignment with what you believe you deserve. That has to coincide with the activities, the things you're actually doing on a daily basis to build your business. All of that creates a space for confidence to start to grow. And once you have confidence, you're off the chain.
And it's not a fake it till you make it kind of thing, right?
No, no, you can, but it's got to be up here. You've got to.
People ask me all the time, well, how's real estate? How it's going? And my answer is always, it's going fantastic. I have an amazing brokerage. I have an amazing team. I have amazing people that I'm working with. And that's what I say to people, because it's true. People are waiting for you to quantify it in dollars and cents, right? Okay. And people look at me and they go, really? It's great. And I said, yeah, it's fantastic. Let them interpret it however they want. But it is. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm talking to people. And that is every much as part of the business as how many opportunities you have under contract. Yeah. Without that mindset, those things they're empty shells, or not as gratifying as they could be. So and it's authentic when I tell people. It's impressive.
Well, there are lead measures and lag measures. Lag measures are closings. The things that the numbers on the books, those are your lag measures. Those are indications that whatever you were doing worked. Lead measures, the things that lead you to that success, are things like the conversations you're having every day, the trainings that you're attending. How often do you go into your office and surround yourself with people will be a determining factor for your success rate. Very few people succeed alone, if anyone. And as a broker who's been a broker owner for a long time, and I've been in leadership in real estate for 10 years, and the minute an agent goes off and isolates is the minute it's the kiss of death for their real estate career. So yeah, Lesley, there's so much gold in all of this. We could talk forever. I am just, again, thankful for you and thankful for what you bring to the table here at Game Changer Realty, your energy, your excitement, and now the success, right? You've been all those things all along. And I have sensed in you from day one that you had everything it took. And I've said that to you multiple times, haven't I? Yeah, you have it. There's nothing missing. It's time on task. It's doing the right activities consistently enough, and it's showing up to your business with an open mind, open heart, open hands, ready to receive. Lesley, thank you for coming in today and sharing your heart and your authenticity with all of the world. I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Such an honor.
For those of you that are listening, I hope you'll come back and visit us often. We try to release a podcast every week. We're not always there, but usually on Tuesdays, you can come back and hear some more goodness and great nuggets from all the people that share here. Sometimes it's just me. Right now, we're talking to all of our new agents so you guys can hear from the real, true troopers that are out there doing this, what this is actually like. Yes. So we thank you all for coming and listening, and we can't wait to catch you on the next one.